Hi everyone, this is Prashad Parthiban. Today I am going to cover what do you mean by aircraft insurance or aviation insurance. First, let's see why do you need aircraft insurance. Assume we have a customer who is having his own aircraft for their personal use. When I say personal use, for pleasure, having a small aircraft, they can have loss exposures, like they can create damage to some other's property while flying, or they can have damage to their own aircraft. Similarly, if you take big airlines, when they take passengers from one location to another location, they can cause loss to the passengers or some third party, right? So there are loss exposures related to aircraft. So that's why we need aircraft insurance. Now, the aircraft insurance works similar to how personal auto insurance works. Because when you take personal auto, we have liability coverage which covers third party. When I say third party, something happens to somebody else's car due to our negligence, we use liability coverage. Similarly, we have something like collision or comprehensive coverage which takes care of our own car. In aircraft also we have liability coverage and we have physical damage, which is otherwise called as hull coverage. When I say hull coverage, the outside body of the aircraft or the aircraft itself. Now, when you take liability coverage, we have two broad categories. One is public liability coverage and the passenger liability coverage. So, public liability coverage works similar to regular liability, where it covers any loss to the bodily injury of others or property damage of others. Say you have your own aircraft and due to your negligence while flying, you hit other buildings or something else, then you can use property damage. And due to that loss, if somebody in that particular building got injured, then you can use bodily injury. Now you can ask, what is this passenger liability? Typically, the regular liability does not cover the passenger within the flight. So if you want to cover passenger within the flight, you need to select passenger liability insurance, which covers the passenger within the flight. On top of this liability coverage, similar to personal auto, you also have something like medical payments, which is a very smaller amount. Most of you will have questions. What is the difference between medical payments and bodily injury? Medical payments can be used without determining who is at fault. Sometimes when you have a liability claim, it's very important that you need to prove, or somebody has to prove that you are at fault. So it takes a lot of time. Whereas when you use medical payments, it's a smaller amount like $5,000, $10,000. If something happens to the passengers or the workers, you can use that amount to give immediate first aid. Now let's see how the physical damage works. So as I told you, physical damage is like a collision or comprehensive coverage in personal auto, where it takes care of the aircraft itself. Now, as we all know, there are three primary scenarios when it comes to physical damage, right? Like I can have a flight which is on the ground without any motion, standing in the wherever there is a location to park it. Now that's one scenario. Scenario two is I can have an aircraft which is in the motion but it's in the ground before takeoff. Third scenario is it can fly. So that's how they categorize the physical damage. Ground coverage is where it is in the ground without motion. Something happens due to fire or some other loss, then we use this coverage. Whereas in motion coverage is it is in the ground, whereas it's moving before the takeoff. So then you can use in motion coverage. The third coverage is in flight, which covers the flight when it's in the travel as well as in the ground. It's the broadest coverage which takes care of all scenarios. So pretty much this is how the way the liability works. Again, there are more details when it comes to aircraft. There are some clauses like layup clause, say if your aircraft is damaged and it's in maintenance phase and you are not using your aircraft for 3 months or 4 months, you can use that layup clause where the insurance company will give back the credit because of the fact you're not using the insurance. For that you have to have some premium if you want to use that clause. So it goes on like that, but I'm just covering it at a very basic level. Now, similar to personal auto, you have some factors that affect how the premium is calculated or how there are discounts that can be applied to the overall premium. Some of the factors are flight hours. So if you are a pilot, if you have driven that particular aircraft for more number of hours, then you get more discount. One thing to remember is, in personal auto or commercial auto, you can say all the autos covered under my company can be insured. That cannot be done in aircraft. Every policy should include the aircraft that you are insuring. So if you take commercial auto, there will be a symbol where it says any auto, right? Coverage number 1. Now when you see that any auto that is under the company's account, it will be covered. Whereas in aircraft, because of the fact it has losses, exposures are huge, you have to include the exact aircraft that you are insuring in that policy. So you need to have more hours. Example, if I have a pilot, if I am insuring an aircraft, the pilot has to drive that aircraft, say like 5,000 hours or 6,000 hours. More the hours you have driven, you get more the discount. Type and size of aircraft, right? It's very common. If you are using it for pleasure, if it's very kind of used for a minimal distance, then you get more discount. Whereas if you are using it to transport passengers from one place to another, then you get less discount. So loss history, if there are any past claims, then you get less discount. Instrumental rating, similar to the rating of other areas, even the pilots or the aircraft get some kind of rating which helps determine or know how much premium discount you have to give. So it's very important that those ratings are taken care on often so that you get good discount. Aircraft usage and storage, right? Like it's very important where you store the aircraft, right? So if your aircraft is in a very safe place where even if there are rain or wind, it's not damaged, then you get more discount. Similarly, usage, right? How you use the aircraft is more important. Like if you're using it for military purpose or something else, that makes a huge difference. Experience, right? It's very important. Similar to if you take personal auto, even if you get license, you can drive the car. Whereas in aircraft, it's very, very stringent process. The pilot has to undergo a lot of training, a lot of certifications, a lot of personal training hours. So the more you have experience, the more discount you get. Same thing, where do you fly? If you are flying your aircraft in more of dangerous zone, you get less premium discount compared to areas where there are less restrictions. So this is what I wanted to cover, like basic structure and why do you need aircraft insurance and what are the basic factors that are used in determining the premium or premium discount. I hope you like my training videos. If you like my training videos, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.